Hello, I'm David Lowry. Welcome to Presence and Peace. Today, I want to discuss something controversial: how the presence can be a valuable tool for ethical awakening. I'm not saying it's the only way to ethically awaken, but it's a valuable way. Our culture shapes us profoundly. It offers belonging and identity, but also perpetuates biases, prejudices, and ethical shortcomings. These flaws hinder our moral compass and lead to social injustices. The presence within is a divine force that wants us to contemplate our cultural weaknesses. I want to say that I don't endorse any specific political or economic ideology. All of them had their failings. But I do believe we must acknowledge these ethical failings to foster a more just and compassionate world. If we are to be a compassionate force, we must not bury our heads in the sand and ignore the problems around us. What are some of these ethical failings of our moral culture? Materialism, prioritizing wealth and possessions over human well being. Economic inequality, creating unfair advantages for a privileged few, which leads to systematic disparities between people. There's the environmental exploitation, where we have unsustainable practices driven by profit, resulting in pollution, deforestation, and climate change. Historical injustices. We fail to acknowledge and address the consequences of colonialism, slavery, and racial discrimination. Gun violence, where we prioritize ownership over the safety of children, leading to tragic consequences. We justify violence by accepting civilian casualties as a cost of conflict, perpetuating the cycle of harm. These are just a few examples of ethical challenges we face. However, there is hope. Within each of us resides the presence. It's a source of wisdom and understanding that can guide us towards ethical awakening. By connecting with this inner truth, we can gain clarity, recognize the ethical failings in our societal structures. We can cultivate compassion by developing empathy and understanding towards those who suffer from injustices. We can question norms and work towards a more equitable and sustainable future. The presence empowers us to become healers in a world marked by suffering and conflict. It allows us to transcend cultural indoctrination and embrace a higher moral consciousness. We can become agents of positive change, challenge injustice, promote compassion, and contribute to a world that reflects our shared humanity. This is David Lowry for Presence and Peace. Thank you for listening. May you be a force for healing and ethical awakening.